Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Those are the first three lines of one of the greatest poems ever written, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. Hello there, my name is Rob Scotland. You may remember me from such YouTube classics as Compound Complex and Trap and Whale Clip of the Week #1. You may also recognize me from my award-winning music, Mythology and Me, An Age of Dysfunction, 14 rap songs about Greek mythology, available now on SoundCloud. Today, I'm here to talk to you about poetry. When we read poems, we're going to be doing four things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify who is the speaker. We can't assume that the speaker is the author. Sometimes it is, but just as often, it's a fictional narrator. Once we've identified who the speaker is, we need to figure out who is the audience. Who is this for? Who is the recipient of these words? Is it a love interest? Is it a daughter from a father? Is it an author speaking to an entire race of people? Maybe. It's our job to figure that out. The third thing we're going to do is try to understand what is the purpose of the poem. What is the narrator's goal? What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to woo a special somebody? Are they trying to enlighten? Are they trying to help somebody understand a new point of view? Again, all these are options. Lastly, we need to be able to paraphrase the poem. We need to put the poem in our own words so that it's clear that we understand it. Now, to do these things, we're going to have to do some deep dives, as I like to say, some serious analysis. We have to explore the structure of the poem. Is there rhyme? Is there meter? What's the tone of the poem? Is imagery used? Personification, similes, metaphors? Is there assonance? Is there consonance? Is there hyperbole? What are the literary devices that help make up this poem? Once we've explored all those things, we'll probably have a better understanding of the narrator, the audience, and the purpose. Thank you. You know what? Why don't we just do a poem together? We'll do a little practice round, you and I. Let's read Ben Jonson's poem on my first daughter. Here lies to each her parents' ruth, Mary the daughter of their youth. Yet all heaven's gifts being heaven's due, it makes the father less to rue. At 6-month end she parted hence, with safety of her innocence, whose soul heaven's queen, whose name she bears, in comfort of her mother's tears, hath placed amongst her virgin train. Where, while that severed doth remain, this grave partakes the fleshy birth, which cover lightly gentle earth. So, four things. #1, the narrator. Well, I could do a little research. I could do some prodding and digging and see what can I find about Ben Jonson. Now, maybe Ben had a young daughter, 6-month-old, who died at that age. So that's certainly a possibility. At a minimum, we know this poem is from a father, and a father who's had a daughter die at 6 months old. Now, #2, we got to figure out who's the audience. So who is this poem for? Well, could it be for his wife, or the mother of the deceased daughter? What would be the goal? In some ways, we have to identify maybe the purpose of the poem. Is the poem written to make somebody feel better? Perhaps the poem is meant to be comforting And therefore, if it's meant to be comforting, it's meant to comfort the mother of the daughter, right? Having a daughter die at a young age, at 6 months, is tragic and sad. And maybe the purpose of this poem is to make the mom feel better. So the narrator, father of a deceased daughter. The audience, likely, maybe, the mom. And the purpose would be to make the mom feel, try to make the mom feel better after the death of her daughter. And then lastly, we got to be able to paraphrase the poem. So put the poem in our own words. They're at the grave of the daughter. It says, "Here lies." The daughter's name is Mary. She was born when both the father and mother were young. The father is sad, but feels better knowing his daughter's going to heaven. She did die at a young age, and because of that, she was obviously very innocent. Her mom cried quite a bit, and even knowing that the baby's soul has been separated from the body, the grave is going to sort of gently hold her body. So those are the 4 things we do: narrator, speaker, audience. What's the purpose of the poem? Can we paraphrase it? 4 things. Rob Scotland out.